Okay. Test, test. Test, test. Test. Okay. How do we sound? Test. This is a test. Okay. Test, test. This is a test. Okay. So something is still not. It's going to be fine, probably. Test. Okay. Test, test. Well, that. Okay. Okay. What about now? It's so hard to decipher what the situation is. I have Tessa. Hi, guys. So, can they hear me now? And the answer is, I hope so. No, she's in Florida, so she might not. Okay. Okay. All right, good. All right, hopefully that fixed it. Yes, absolutely. I'm so glad. Absolutely. Absolutely, Clint. Man, I'm sorry I don't have that on video. Len, are you reading it? No, Andy. Ozi vezimrat ya vayehi li lishua. 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 Shabbat shalom, everybody. Good Shabbos. I'm so glad to have you all here. I'm going to do something a little dangerous, which is I'm going to invite you to turn and say Shabbat shalom or good Shabbos to somebody you haven't met yet, because there are a lot of faces you haven't seen in a while. So please go say hello. Say Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom if you're watching at home. I'm so glad you're here. Thank you all for doing that. It is a dangerous thing to stop and ask a room full of people who are, while you're talking, to get up and talk. But I think it's really good to know who you're praying next to. And being in community these days is the thing that is sustaining me most through the hardships and through the ups and downs of the news cycle and everything else. So I hope that you feel also cared for and loved in this space as well. We're going to continue with the lighting of the Shabbat candles, which you will find on page 9. Redmonds, will you come and light Shabbat candles with us? If you're at home, I invite you to light Shabbat candles at your house. Oh, yeah, there's one. We're good. Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav, b'tzilanu, lehadlik ner, shel Shabbat. We're going to continue welcoming Shabbat in song. Lecha Dodi is on page 14. Lecha Dodi likrat kala pnei Shabbat nekavela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala pnei Shabbat nekavela. Shamor v'zachor b'dibor echad, Hishmianu el ha-meyuchad, Adonai echad u'shmo echad, L'shem u'tiferet ve'litchila. Lecha Dodi likrat kala pnei Shabbat nekavela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala pnei Shabbat nekavela. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha, ki hi mekor haberacha, merosh mikadam nesucha, sof ma'aseh b'machshavat chila. Lecha Dodi likrat kala pnei Shabbat nekavela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala pnei Shabbat nekavela. Hitoreri, kiva orech kumi ori, uri, shir daveri, kevod Adonai alayech nigla. Lecha Dodi likrat kala pnei Shabbat nekavela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala pnei Shabbat nekavela. Boi v'shalom ateret bala, gam besimcha uvetzola, toch emunei am segula. Boi chala, Lecha Dodi likrat kala pnei Shabbat nekavela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala pnei Shabbat nekavela. Yai dai dai dai, yai dai dai dai, yai dai dai dai, yai dai dai dai, yai dai dai dai. Yai dai dai dai, yai dai dai dai. going to continue with our prayer of transition, the Chatzi Kaddish, which you'll find on the top of page 17. The Kaddish, which we use throughout our prayer service, is not, it has a lot of meanings, but it is words of praise that we offer during a transition, which I think is a good reminder, at least for me, that even in transitions, which I find pretty difficult, we can find some gratitude. Yikadal v'ikadash shemei Rabbah Be'alma divarach yirutei v'yamlich malchutei B'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chayei docho be'Yisrael Ba'agala ba'agala uv'izman kariv Ve'imeru amen Yehi shmei Rabbah mevorach le'olam ulal me'omaya Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yipa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei dekudesha barichu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata ta'amiran be'alma ve'imeru amen. I invite you to rise and we join together for Baruch Hu. Yai la lai 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 lai. Yai la lai 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 lai. Yai la lai 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 lai. Yai la lai 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 lai. Yai la lai 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 lai. Yai la lai 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 lai. Yai la lai 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 lai. Yai la lai 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 lai. Baruch Hu et Adonai Hamevorach. Baruch Adonai Hamevorach. Hamevorach le'olam va'ed. Hamevorach. Hamevorach le'olam va'ed. I invite you to be seated. We're going to continue at the top of page 21. We are loved, loved, loved by unending love and unending love. We are loved, loved, loved by unending love and unending love. We are embraced by arms that find us, even when we are hidden from ourselves. We are touched by fingers that soothe us, even when we are too proud for soothing. We are counseled by voices that guide us, even when we are too embittered to hear. We are loved, loved, loved by unending love and unending love. We are loved, loved, loved by unending love and unending love. We are supported by hands that uplift us, even in the midst of a fall. We are urged on by eyes that meet us, even when we are too weak for meeting. We are loved, loved, loved by unending love and unending love. We are loved, loved, loved by unending love and unending love. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Eretz Adonai Elohecha, bechol levavecha, uvechol nafshecha, uvechol me'otecha, vehayu hadvarim ha'ele, asher anochi metzavecha, hayom alevavecha, veshinantam levanecha, v'dibarta bam, v'shitecha b'veitecha, uvelechtecha v'derech, uveshachbecha uvekumecha, ukshertam leot al yadecha, v'hayu letotafo b'eineinecha, uchtavtam al mezuzot beitecha, uvisharecha. Bottom 24. Leman tizkeru v'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'tem kedoshim lelohechem. Ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim lihiot lachem lelohim. Ani Adonai Elohechem. I'm going to continue with Mi Chamocha in the top of the next page. Yai lai lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai 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 lai. Mi chamocha va'elim Adonai, mi kamocha ne'etar b'kodesh, nora tehilot osefele, nora tehilot osefele. Malechutecha ra'u vanecha, vokei hayam livnei Moshe u'Miriam, Ze'elianu ve'amru, Ze'elianu ve'ameru, Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed, Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed. Yai dai dai, yai dai 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 dai, yai dai 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 dai, yai dai dai dai, yai dai 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 dai, yai dai dai dai, yai dai 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 dai. As we continue with Hashkivenu on page 26 and 27, Hashkivenu, a prayer for a shelter of peace over us, over the world. I know you join me in praying that prayer for all of the people to whom we are connected this evening. We are, the Hebrew is sort of at the top of page 26, and the English that we do is at the bottom of page 27, so if you haven't seen our prayer book before, that's what's happening, in case you get lost. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom v'hamidenu shomreinu l'chaim. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom v'hamidenu shomreinu l'chaim. Oh, guide my steps and help me find my way. I need your shelter now, so rock me in your arms and guide my steps, and help me make this day a song of praise to you. So rock me in your arms and guide my steps. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom v'hamidenu shomreinu l'chaim. We are going to continue with the Amidah, which you will find on page 51. I invite you all to rise. Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi yagid tehilatecha. Eternal God, open my lips that my mouth may declare your glory. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzhak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Leah, Elohei Rachel, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'konei Hakol, V'zocher Chasei Avot V'imahot, U'mevig Ula Livnei V'neihem, Lema'an Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshia U'Magen, Baruch Ata Adonai, Magen Avraham Ve'ezrat Sarah, Ata Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechaye HaKol Ata Rav Lehoshia, Mechakel Chaim Bechesed, Mechaye HaKol Berachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim Verofech Cholim, Umatir Asurim, Umekayem Emunato, Lishnei Afar, Micha Mocha Baal Gevurot, Umido Melech, Melech Memit Umechayeh, Umatzmiach Yeshua, V'ne'eman Atala HaChayot HaKol, Baruch Ata Adonai, Mechaye HaKol. Ata Kadosh Shimcha Kadosh, U'Kadoshim B'chol Yom Yahalu Chasela, Baruch Ata Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh. I invite you to keep praying. You can use the words on the page, the prayers of your heart, stand or sit, whatever feels good for you, and we'll join back together in a few moments. Imrefi, Me'yon libi lefanecha, Adonai tzuri, Adonai tzuri, Begoali, Begoali. Friends, this week we have reached the piece of the Torah that you all know well from the book what? Maybe from the book called the Torah, but mostly from the movie that you may have seen once or twice before, The Prince of Egypt. Now, you may also have not seen that because it may have skipped you, but you may have also seen Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. That's one that many of us are familiar with. We are in a time in the Torah. This is the story of Joseph and his brothers and the decisions that they make and the ways in which they hide from their father Jacob, their brother's death. Although he's not dead, he's in a pit, and then he's sold, and he goes to jail. And the stories in this Torah portion I find pretty challenging, right? I mean, they made a beautiful musical, and I don't know, beautiful. They made a musical out of it, and boy, do we all know those songs. Sometimes I hear it in my head while I'm reading, and I'm like, this is not what I planned for this soundtrack for this moment, but that is what's happening. But this Torah portion I find very difficult. Joseph is sold into slavery to a family, and then he is, when he does not go along with the wife's wishes, she immediately turns on him and sends him to jail and accuses him of all these horrible things. And I find the idea that all these brothers were so jealous of their other brother, I find it doesn't feel like a great lesson. And then their solution is to break their father's heart. And what I like to talk about the Torah is that could be positive and negative examples. So some of the things that we learn here, to be fair, it always makes me feel better when our ancestors have some of the same feelings that we have, like deep jealousy. The fact that that was written in the Torah means that people have been experiencing it for centuries, and it's not an abnormal human emotion. I sometimes need my big feelings to be counterbalanced with the reality of what it means to be a human person. And so it feels like, okay, well, I understand where they're coming from because I felt big jealousy. Not so much to hatch a plan and put somebody in a pit, but I appreciate that the Torah could be a document that only includes niceties, and yet we have these stories that have been turned into a musical that are not so niceties. They don't make nobody comes out looking good. So then it brings me back to the question of what is our responsibility here? And I am left so far at this point in my life and my career with the same answer, which is our responsibility is not to fully understand or agree, but to wrestle and to examine the text and see if perhaps we can find a way to live a little bit better than the people in these stories. And I don't think that self-examination nor the examination of our holiest text makes us. I think that what it makes us do is it really makes us engage with the text in a different way and ask the question, why are we still reading the Torah in the modern age? Which is a question that I ask all of my B'nai Mitzvah students. We know that the Torah has been passed down from ancestors to ancestors, generations to generations, and now here we are. And yet, there's a lot of stuff in the Torah that I find, ick. Ick is not the word that I want, but that is certainly how it makes me feel, that I find really challenging. So to me, I don't think it doesn't seem like it's our responsibility to ignore or excuse the behavior of the people who came before us. In fact, it is the opposite of that. It is our responsibility is to wrestle with it, to understand it, or to try to find some human in it to make ourselves understand who we are. That we don't just come from all good or all bad. There's so much in the middle. There's so much nuance for who we are as a people and who we are as individuals. So, yes, I do think the musical is a great one. And if you haven't seen it, or your high school didn't put it on 100 times, perhaps it's a good one to see. But I think most important is the reality that even in the musical, they have to leave out some things, right? Even in the musical, where they really did a nice job. And boy, if you see it now, I think I saw it a couple of years ago, and I was like, oh, wow, okay, I see when this was written. But it does give us I think it's just another version of permission to ask the questions that we need to ask when we're examining our holy text. Why is it important to us now in this modern world? What can it teach us? What lessons do we get to glean? And what is our responsibility to the text? So when we are faced with a parsha like this week that is challenging, I invite us to really examine what our role is and how it is that we can make changes in our modern world, keep these stories, and then enact some kind of goodness. I don't have any answers. I don't have answers what that looks like, but I think that is our responsibility for us to do together. And I think it is easier to do in community than it is to do alone. When you sit and read the stories alone, it's easy to get bogged down in them. But when we are together and we get to ask these big questions, aren't we lucky that we get to hear somebody else's answer? So my friends, my hope for you this Shabbat is to rely on a chavruta, a study partner, or a chaver, a friend, and maybe not stay so tight in your explanation, but listen to theirs and see if that somebody else can give you, maybe not of this, maybe of something else that's going on in your life. See if somebody can give you some eye-opening wisdom that you've been searching for. Shabbat shalom, everybody. We're going to take a moment now to pause and think about all the people in our lives and in the world who are in need of healing, body and mind and of spirit. This evening we are thinking of Michael Tutt and Amy Change, David Sloan and Art Scaife, Daniel Zendel and Mary Chezik, and Rabbi Arnie, and Sharon Curran, and Ted Golden, Steve Rode and Les Davis, Larry Littman, Joel Ben Moshe, and Cindy Silverman, Shani Lewins, Wendy Jemp, and Yona Bat Ilana V'chaim. If there's anybody else you are thinking of this evening whose name you'd like to share with our community, who you are praying for their healing of body or mind and spirit, I invite you to either stand or raise your hand to share those names aloud. And if you're at home, I invite you to say those names out loud in your space. Go ahead, Karen.
Zoe Marcus, Julie Palmer, Nora Raven, Kathy Duncan, and Kyle Schwein.
Thank you.
Zoe Blender, Nora Capital.
Thank you.
Robert Golden, Brandon Golden, Douglas Golden, Barbara Golden, Melissa Golden, Michelle Golden, Zoe Brown.
Thank you, Dan. Thank you. For all those people we mentioned and the ones that we are holding in our hearts, we turn to page 67 for Mishberach. Mishberach Avotenu Mekor HaBracha Leimotenu. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing. And let us say, Amen. Mi shebeirach imotenu mekor habracha lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shalema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. Before we move to our concluding prayers, I'm going to invite Andy forward to share some announcements with you all.
Thank you, Rabbi. Let's see. Can you all hear me? All right, where are the announcements? Here they are. On behalf of the Board of Trustees and our members, I'd like to extend a special welcome to all of our congregants and anyone visiting us this evening. And there are quite a few of you here, and I've not seen many of your faces before, so welcome to you all. With the chilly weather upon us, the Soup Troop will be collecting new men's socks, gloves, and Little Hotties foot and hand warmers. So please feel free to donate those, and you can speak to any Soup Troop member or check our website, shirtikva.org. Wednesday, December 17th, Sheretz Zedek is hosting a community-wide Hanukkah event with the Maccabees, and we are a partner sponsor. We need a few volunteers to represent us, so if you'd like to do so, please contact our executive director, Tessa, our rabbi, or stop by CST or shirtikva.org, the website, and you can learn how to sign up. Our annual Hanukkah Latke Cook-Off is Friday, December 19th. See the link to sign up on our website. And what is that? shirtikva.org. That's right. Please note that the office will be, what was this crossed out?
Yeah, you can say it anyway. You can say it. I wasn't sure, but it's fine. It's on there. You can say it. You started it. You said it.
All right. Please note that the office will be closed from December 22nd through January 4th. And those are all of the printed announcements. Shabbat Shalom, everybody.
Thank you. Tomorrow morning, Young Family Shabbat at 10 a.m. And then Sunday, we have our annual Family Education Hanukkah Palooza. Let's go with that. So we could use some help there. So check in with Tessa or me or show up. We'll have a job for you. We're going to turn to page 74 as we rise for Aleinu. Shelo I'm on page 76. Hold on to what is good, even if it is a handful of earth. Hold on to what you believe, even if it is a tree which stands by itself. Hold on to what you must do, even if it is a long way from here. Hold on to life, even when it is easier letting go. Hold on to my hand, even when I have gone away from you. We are in a period of Shloshim, the first 30 days of mourning for Janice Book, our beloved friend and CST congregant, and Marilyn LeBoy, our beloved congregant and mother of Jeremy, mother-in-law of Christine, grandmother of Sierra, Skylar, and Caden, and aunt of Sarah and Carrie. This week, we also recall the yard sighting, the anniversary of the deaths of Emily Willen, grandmother of Rachel Cannelly, Frida Taylor Novak, grandmother of Bart Lesson, Jean Silverman, mother of Harriet Silverman, Jeff Stern, husband of Bobby and father of Claire and Lucy and Ruby, and our dear friend and congregant, Aaron Lesson, father of Bart Lesson, Manny Peltz, father of Marcia Wengrow and congregant, Gerald Grodsky, brother of Larry Grodsky, Jack Hess, father of Heidi Hirsch, Jerome Liebman, father of Miriam Feinerman, Victor Hurwitz, father of Keith Hurwitz, Samuel Ratiner, father of Stephen Ratiner, David Peacock, father of Charles Peacock, and Dorothy Everett, mother of Wendy Demp. If there's anybody else you are remembering this evening whose name you'd like to share with our community, I invite you to do so. We rise and join together for the Kaddish Hatom, the Mourner's Kaddish on page 78. Yitgadal v'kadash shemei Rabbah, be'alma divarach hirute v'yamlich malchute, be'chayechon u'vyomechon u'chaye zechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala u'vizman kariv v'imru. Amen. Yehi shmei Rabbah mevarach le'olam u'lamei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yipa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yithalal shemei dekudusha b'richu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, ta'amiran be'alma v'yimru. Amen. Yehi shlama Rabbah min shemaya, v'chaim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimru. Amen. Oseh shalom b'ramav, v'ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimru. Amen. May the source of peace grant peace to all who mourn and comfort to all who are bereaved, here and everywhere, to which we say, Amen. I invite you to be seated. Oseh shalom imromav, uyaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru, ve'imru, amen. Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. We'll join together in saying a little Kiddush and Motzi as we conclude our service this evening. My prayer for all of us is to find a way to enlarge our sense of what's going on around us, and also to find some really good friendship and fellowship this weekend. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu